Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's Monday morning. Good morning. It is Saturday morning. This is Bernansky's vlog. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jeremy Bernansky with Bernansky's vlog. I've got my iced tea. I've got my iced tea. I've got my iced tea here. I've got the box office report from this weekend. And let's go ahead and take a look at one news story then that dropped this morning. We are live right now. We are going to cover Friday's box office. So for this weekend's box office, on these Facebook Live sessions, we do like to cover the weekend box office. So what does that mean? That means that this is pretty impressive, as you'll hear in a minute. And I'm not going to give any spoilers, so don't worry. In theory, that film should have done gangbusters. This movie is so much fun. I think the rewatchability factor is super high. Wow, this was actually a fun time. I'm on board. Sign me up. Game over. If you're watching this on replay, thank you. All right, let's just get into it. Number 5, number 4, and number 3, number 2, and number 1. Good morning. It's Monday morning. I've got my iced tea, got the box office report for this weekend, and we're going to have a little conversation about the Justice League. Now that you guys have had an opportunity to see my non-spoiler review, my spoiler review, and here we are on Facebook Live. So we'll give it a second to see if anybody pops in, and then we'll just jump right into the weekend box office. All right, here we go. It is Monday morning, and we're going to talk movies. So for the weekend box office, coming in at number 5, because again, we always go from the lowest earner to the highest earner for the top 5. So for coming in at number 5 is Murder on the Orient Express at $13,800,000. Daddy's Home 2 at number 4 for $14,800,000. Number 3, Thor Ragnarok at $21,786,000. Number 2, Wonder with $27,050,000. Number 1, Justice League at $96 million. So overall, I think the big surprise is that Justice League didn't break $100 million with all of these characters and everything else. But honestly, I attribute that a lot to the fact that there was a lot of negativity leading up to this release. So if you saw the review that I just did for Justice League, the spoiler review from this morning's episode, you know that there was a lot of press coverage and everything else coming out that was just like, look, this film is probably going to be a disaster because there's a lot of rewrites, there's a director change, everything else that went into it. So it's not surprising that people didn't really get out and force to see it with all of the negativity that was leading up to the release. I am happy to see that it made close to $100 million, but honestly, I think this film should have broke $100 million easy. It's Batman, it's Superman, it's The Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman. Like, across the board, these are the DC big hitters outside of Green Lantern, who we did get. But outside of Green Lantern, I mean, these are like the big guys. These are the big guns for DC Comics. So that's a little surprising. Also, to see that Wonder did so well. I hadn't seen it yet. It looked like it was going to be an emotional film. I did not get out to the theaters. But now that once I get my movie pass, and I'm only paying that monthly fee, as you heard, I can see as many movies as I want all month long to bring more content to the YouTube channel. So I might want to check that out now that, once my movie pass comes in, because it did well. It's getting good reception. Like, it's got positive reviews online, like the little headline stuff all seem positive. Thor Ragnarok still being in the top 3, not surprising. There's not really a lot of competition out there to stand up against Thor. Daddy's Home 2. Obviously, Daddy's Home was a fun movie, so Daddy's Home 2, not surprising that it's still hanging around. And Murder on the Orient Express coming in at number 5, I am happy about because I enjoyed it. It's not a great movie. It's just kind of like a fun movie. So you can check my review out right up here if you're watching this on the replay. And if you're not watching it, if you're watching this live right now, you can just go ahead after this and head over to my YouTube channel and then go to the movie review playlist, because that's where you're going to be able to see just the movie reviews is in that playlist. So you won't have to go through every episode. You can just go right to the playlist for movie reviews. Just watch that anywhere from, 2 to 8 minutes, whatever the review length is going to be. And then you can go about your day. So let's jump into Justice League. Now, if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you saw my spoiler review, you saw my non-spoiler review, and hopefully you've seen Justice League. Because there's a lot of talk about, like, well, where are we going now? Because we know Aquaman's there. And just a couple things that I noticed about the film with regards to some of the chatter online about, can we get a Cyborg film? Like, what's going on with his character? Are we going to get Flashpoint? Will production on Flashpoint ever get started? So with Cyborg, I actually kind of liked how he was. Now, when you have a team movie, let's start there. When you have a team movie, it's important that you have like that character that's the wild card, because that makes for really good storytelling. If you have like everybody else, you can kind of predict what they're going to do, but you got that one guy where you're not quite sure, like, well, what's he going to do in this movie? I feel like that could be Cyborg, because in Justice League, he talks about how he's got this other voice in his head, but it's that other computer language, the alien technology. And so he was like, you know, once I go in, I may not be able to come back out, which is similar to what we hear from Bruce Banner and Hulk, right? Especially in Thor Ragnarok, where he's like, if I become the Hulk again, I may never be Bruce again. So with Cyborg, I think it could be a nice element to add to the storytelling. If we didn't necessarily have a Cyborg standalone film, but we saw Cyborg's character unfold throughout multiple films with Justice League, or if he even does like guest appearances in the other films, if the Matt Reeves Batman film that they're working on, if they ever get Superman 2 started, the Wonder Woman sequel, if he can make a guest appearance in there, he probably not in Aquaman because they've already wrapped production on that, if memory serves. But if they get the Flashpoint movie, he could obviously have a role in that. But kind of let us see his struggle. Let us always kind of wonder what's going to happen with Cyborg. I think that could be a fun element for storytelling with this universe. That way we don't have to have everything fleshed out, and Cyborg can always be that wild card character for at least the next movie, maybe not forever, but at least the next movie where we're like, well, what's going to happen with Cyborg? Is the alien voice going to win and now the team has to fight him? Is he going to be able to overcome and succeed over the voice to help the Justice League? I just think there's a lot of potential with his character that they didn't really tap into very much in the Justice League movie. So hopefully we can see a little bit more from that, because overall, I enjoyed the Justice League film, and I encourage people to actually get out to the movies to see this in the theater. Because like I said in my review, it's not a great film. There's, it's thin storytelling. You get the bare bones stuff, and you might have some questions if you aren't familiar with the characters and their backstory. But it's consistent, is what I'll say. Every character is written thinly. It's consistent. So there's some chatter online about the villain wasn't great. How did Batman the world's greatest detective? But if you don't follow comics, it's not going to make sense how he was able to figure out the parademon sphere thing. So there's just, if you're not a comic book fan, you might have more questions. I walked out of the movie going, okay, that all made sense to me because of the comic book knowledge I have stored deep in the recesses of my brain box. But if you don't, you may come out of the theater going, how did he know? How did they do? What's going on there? And that's just because the storytelling was thin. But if you go, call up one of your friends that is into comic books or the animated shows or the other TV shows or the movies, and have them go with you. And then after the movie's over, just fire away questions at them, grab some coffee, some iced tea, and then fire away those questions and let them answer and explain out some of the things, and use that as an opportunity for engagement with your friends, I suppose. There's always a positive that you can find if you look hard enough. Sometimes. Don't hold me to that. But if you try, I think you might be able to find a positive in this film. We'll see. Hopefully you can. I was able to. Hopefully you can. But we're going to go ahead and cut this short. Fire off your comments below if you saw Justice League. Tell me what you thought about the film. Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it? Who was your favorite character? What would you like to have seen them done better or added to it, given more? What are your thoughts about the film if you didn't like it? Don't just say the movie was garbage. Tell me why the movie was garbage. And that way we can have a conversation about it online. If you're watching this on replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, and also go ahead and give me that thumbs up, because it helps people who like movies like you and I to find this channel on YouTube, and also probably this Facebook page, if I understand how the Facebook thing works. All right, we're going to go ahead. Oof, that was bad. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. I hope everybody has a great week. Definitely, if you didn't catch this week's episode, go back and check out the Certified Rad segment, because it's about helping the soldiers, the vets, the first responders, and more. And there is a time constraint on it. There's a deadline for the end of the month, so it's time sensitive. So definitely go back and check that out for Certified Rad on this week's episode. All right, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. I've got some iced tea to finish and some more work to do here for the website for Bernansky's vlog. But I hope everybody has a great week. And this week is Thanksgiving. So if you're here in America and you're watching this, I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving with friends, family, and loved ones. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeremy Bernansky, and you've just finished watching a Facebook Live replay. Now, if you enjoyed that, you may also want to check out the weekly show playlist, as well as the movie news playlist, which covers just the news segments from every Monday's episode. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and click that subscribe. We'll see you guys next Monday right here on YouTube for a brand new episode of Bernansky's Vlog at 10 a.m. PST. Have a great week. Take care.